5 strange ways insects have evolved to survive. Insects are fascinating creatures. While they are considered creepy or unsettling by some, they are among the most diverse and interesting animals, often armed with a wide variety of defense mechanisms, survival tactics, and highly unique appearances. Most of us are used to houseflies and wasps, perhaps the widely recognizable ladybug beetle, but few are aware of just how distinct and strange insects can be. Evolved in incredible ways to ward off predators, source nourishment, and efficiently reproduce, there are myriads of examples we can look at. We'll be examining 5 of these wild adaptations today. Number 5. Defensive odor, stink bugs. Starting off with a unique defensive mechanism that many of us may have already observed in some animals, releasing a horrible odor when threatened. Stink bugs are a widely disliked insect, having gained an extremely negative reputation largely attributed to the fact that they are very common, and attempting to take one outside will most likely result in one's from smelling awful. Not a unique mechanism, as strange as it is, skunks infamously resort to a similar defense, and some other insects have such a mechanism as well. Even so, stink bugs remain a mainstay in our collective experiences, given the fact that there are thousands of species worldwide. Given these facts and that many of the most widespread species are invasive, their defense clearly works fabulously. So fabulously, in fact, that a group of scientists have been working for years on introducing a wasp species that would get rid of the invasive stink bugs supposedly without harming the native wildlife. This group felt extremely lucky when said wasp showed up in the area naturally without any introduction efforts, though the results are unknown. Number 4. Sexual cannibalism, praying mantis. Another infamous behavior, the female praying mantis, just like the equally infamous female black widow, will frequently eat its mate after it's done its job in the reproduction cycle. While it certainly seems cruel and unacceptable to us, and it certainly would be as humans, or arguably at any scale, it is an effective survival tactic for these insects, and not one done as an act of cruelty. In studies, roughly half of the males survived mating, though in nature it's estimated that only between 13 and 28% of them actually get eaten. The female half who ate their partners in the study, however, didn't just get a certainly extremely useful meal to sustain themselves while laying eggs, but also laid a significantly higher amount of eggs to begin with. In addition to this, it was shown that a large portion of the nutrition gained from eating the male actually went to the offspring rather than the mother. It certainly seems cruel, and it's certainly a fortunate thing that humans aren't a species that rely on this behavior. It may be horrible, but it is an efficient act of survival. Number 3. Pit viper caterpillar, hawk moth. Caterpillars don't seem too unusual. Most of us learn about them in school. We're aware that some are venomous to touch, but not many of us think about these larval forms. Colorful and interesting by themselves, caterpillars deserve probably more recognition than they currently have. This is especially true for the hawk moth's curious-looking larva. The fascinating ability that truly makes these caterpillars stand out from the rest is the fact that they mimic snakes. They can be a variety of colors from brown to green, and, when threatened, they are able to puff up, taking on the shape and overall look of a snake's head, which many have likened to an extremely dangerous pit viper. While the caterpillar is actually harmless, the disguise is so convincing that it's an effective survival tactic by itself, able to fool any predatory birds and even humans that may cross paths with this fearsome snake. Number 2. Washing children with poison. Everyone's aware of the hard-working and eusocial part of incredible colonies, cleaning their young using poison, apparently. Behavior that could be considered personal hygiene is common among insects, though some ordinary ants do a lot in the name of cleanliness. It is, after all, paramount for ants to avoid a disease outbreak, a single one quite possibly wiping an entire nest out. With this in mind, their solution seems to be the unique technique of sucking poison from their backsides out of their acidopore, and simply drooling it over their young to destroy potentially harmful fungi infecting them, thus preventing it from spreading. Apparently, some opted to simply spray the poison, but most felt that licking up their own poison directly from the acidopore and releasing that was a better option. The good news in all of this is that this appears to work wonders. Even the fungi that aren't destroyed are far less likely to spread. Nature is truly amazing, even when it's a tad unappealing. Number 1. Glowing cockroach, Lucihormetica lucky. Cockroaches are a pest, yet also deeply misunderstood. Out of the 4,600 species scientists have discovered so far, only a few actually act as pests, occupying human households. The vast majority do no such thing and simply live in forests. That being said, it's entirely understandable that people have major problems with the ones that do infest our habitats. They are simply horrible. Even then, we can feel lucky knowing that we perhaps got a better deal than we could have. The cockroaches we mostly encounter don't actually do much besides being hygiene and potential health hazard. Many other species are far more exciting, or perhaps unsettling. Lucihormetica lucky is, simply put, a cockroach that glows green in the dark, only leaving a dark spot that creepily resembles a face, perhaps a skull. While a glowing cockroach seems easier to kill, and it certainly would be for us, it also seems to be an effect of mimicry. Scientists believe that this strange species mimics the bioluminescent click beetle, a poisonous insect. Yet again, the strangeness seems to work, even if it may seem odd or redundant at first.